Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome, welcome, welcome all. This is Tamika Tung with San Bernardino County Workforce Division, and I'm going to be your facilitator today. This is one of several um, video workshop career development series that we're conducting. This one today is going to be on social media and your job search. So hopefully, you will find this helpful and not too intimidating because, as you know, in today's market, social media is going to be needed more than ever. So, without further ado, let's begin. Today, we're going to be covering why social media is critical to your job search, these seven current social media trends, traditional networking versus social media networking, and why LinkedIn. Okay. So, first off, since the pandemic, as you know, all of us have been resorting to mainly social media platforms in order to reach out to others. Well, a digital platform is going to only get larger, and it's going to be predominantly the most useful way that we're going to be reaching out to employers if you have not been doing so already. As you know, there's been many, 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 many Zoom interviews. There's been many Zoom webinars. Everything's been conducted mainly on Zoom, and you will be seeing an increase of that. So it's really important that if you have not already done so, start playing around with these different platforms and practicing. So, why social networking? Well, simple. If we look at the word social networking, that simply means networking, but of course, we're going to be over the internet. Traditional networking typically entails in person, right? You meet and greet, you go to job fairs, you talk to employers. But in this case, we're going to be mainly doing this online. So, this is why it's so critical that we start practicing, getting comfortable with using these different platforms. The purpose of why social networking is important is because it helps you expand your network, it builds relationships, it also helps you increase your credibility, your visibility. Because if you know anything about internet, you can reach thousands and maybe millions, of course, across the globe in seconds. It also expands your geographic location and helps you to be seen and found by employers. Social networking, guess what? Three out of four employers, hiring managers will check out a candidate's social profiles to see if they're going to even consider looking at their resumes or even interviewing them. 92% of employers use social media to hire. It's cheaper. Advertisements in general, they can be pretty pricey. So a lot of employers are using this to get the word out of the need that they have at that particular company. One in 10 recent hires, guess what? Are found on their job search through social media. So please, 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 I can't stress this enough. Start utilizing social media. It really is not as scary as most people think it is. So who's looking at you online? Everyone, pretty much everyone. So this is why it's really important that whatever you put on the internet is professional to the most 10th degree, if I can say that, maybe the 100th degree. I can't stress this enough. What goes on the internet stays on the internet forever. So it's really important that you set a good standard for yourself inside and outside, off camera and on camera. So the good thing about being on the internet and recruiting and being with employers and engaging is that it reaches thousands and thousands and thousands of different types of recruiters and managers. You can make these important connections. You can display some written work, a digital portfolio. I always keep telling people strive to build a digital portfolio online to make yourself even more marketable. The ways that you can shoot yourself in the foot, if I can say that, or just be an unfavorable presence, have an unfavorable presence on the media, is making references to drug use, negative comments about others, political comments, of course, spelling grammars, anything offensive on the social media network will definitely be looked at as unfavorable. And as you know, in today's market, in today's news, we're seeing a lot of that. So it's really best that you make yourself in the most favorable light when you are presenting yourself online. So how do we do that? Well, first off, making sure that you have a nice photo of yourself. You ensure that any public information on your social media is very clean. A business professional social media platform. Now, some of us have personal ones that we use for family and friends. That's fine, but I always recommend that you have a separate account for mainly the professional network. You want to definitely remove any offensive pictures, keeping yourself again nice and squeaky clean as much as possible. Another good tip too is if another way to increase your chances of getting hired is by joining industry related job sites and industry related platforms such as HireEd, idealist.com or idealist.org, I should say, and any government jobs. There's a lot of different platforms out there that are just too many to even recall right now, but with a lot of research, you'll definitely be able to find these. So, the current social media trends. Now we're getting to some fun. We're going to be talking about some current media platforms that you should be aware of. Maybe some of these are familiar with you, and hopefully, these will help you in your job search. So, the first one we're going to talk about is ta-da, Glassdoor. Glassdoor is my favorite. What I love about Glassdoor is that it allows you to, let's just call this the Yelp of social media, of the Yelp of jobs. Everyone's familiar with Yelp. Well, Glassdoor will allow you to read reviews. It'll allow you to take a look at the company culture to see if this is something, a company that you want to become a part of, or if you have the same ideology, or if you want to take a look at their mission statement, even the CEO ratings. It's a good also way to find out um, the ways these companies are interviewing. Sometimes questions are posted on Glassdoor that will help you as far as tips and tricks and things that you need to be aware of to get hired on with the company. And also, of course, what everyone looks for is compensation. Glassdoor has a great little tool on there that allows you to look at what the compensation and going rate is for a specific person with your experience in that position. So remember, when you're job searching, it is a job looking for a job, and you have to be kind of like a detective whenever you're doing your research, and that's going to be critical. Facebook. So a lot of people are on Facebook, 2.5 billion to be exact, and maybe more. It's growing. Why is it important? Same reason. Employers just don't either have the time or the money or the resources to just simply create an ad for every job that there is, every posting. So what they're doing is they're creating Facebook pages and then just simple business pages to post their openings. And you can join these particular groups. Every company pretty much is on Facebook, and you can join their groups by following them, simply following them, creating yourself a nice little web page with your professional expertise in different things that you may be good at, whether that be managing projects, um, writing proposals for others, typing letters, teaching, tutoring, whatever that may be. Highlight those skills that you have on your Facebook page, and I guarantee you, you will get noticed. And always remember to follow those particular companies on the Facebook page because this allows you kind of like an inside scoop to get the jobs that they're looking for. Twitter, it's so interesting. Twitter started out as an SMS service with 160 characters. Now, the limit is basically 140, and it's basically another social media platform that allows you to share articles about your field. Small little chats. I call them tweets. Actually, they're really called tweets, where you can just send messages out to the world. And the neat thing about this is that you can join this little Twitter community, comment on news in your industry, brand yourself that way. And guess what? You can also get job leads from twitjobs.com. But yes, you can, there's a way where you can use hashtags and really search and find the jobs that you're looking for. A lot of people don't understand how hashtags are used, but hashtags is a little secret that you can use to just simply put in, let's just say, hashtag admin jobs, hashtags California admin jobs. If you utilize hashtags, you'll see that you'll be able to pull up some different little positions in that particular field on social media. So get on Twitter. Blogging is just another way of just writing pretty much not so much an online diary per se, but just like some thoughts and feedbacks on some things or services that you can offer. For example, if you are one that loves pet sitting, guess what, there's a niche for that. You can do a pet sitting blog, you can do a secretarial blog. If you're into welding and maybe you want to help companies weld some pipes or whatever it is that you may be doing, you can create a blog for just about anything. And why is this important? Well, because if you simply add the word admin blog, or let's just say teaching blogs, guess what? You're going to pull up a whole lot of information on job search blogging. And there's tons and tons of blogs out there that will help you with tips and tricks on how to find employment, jobs that are uh, blogs that have job listings on them. And it really would help if you just simply just take the time, don't be stressed, and just simply just put some keywords together with the word blog attached. So again, admin blog, teaching blog, tutoring blogs, whatever that job is that you're looking for, add the word blog to it in the search toolbar with Google your friend, and I guarantee you, you will see tons of information there. So, if you do decide to create a blog, some things to consider again, protocol, we call the social media etiquette, is never use blogs to vent, never use blogs to offend anyone, always be courteous, and make sure that you just take the time to spell check everything. Again, blogging is a great way to really heighten your skills and writing, and also just to get noticed by other writers and companies that may be interested in your craft. Okay, so far we talked about Facebook, we've talked about blogging and Twitter. Now let's talk about LinkedIn, one of my favorites. The beautiful thing about LinkedIn is that a lot of people just don't understand the power of LinkedIn. LinkedIn was designed basically to really, really connect people to businesses, employers. Any company and every company is on LinkedIn. So the whole idea is not so much about what you know, but who you know. And I love LinkedIn because this platform really, really hones in on this. So you may have someone that you've known maybe years ago that you work with. Guess what? They may be on LinkedIn. They may have a connection that you may not even know about, but they're connected to that particular company. And it's a really powerful way to connect with other businesses, to keep in touch with friends, maybe some alumni, someone you went to school with, a teacher. It really, really is a good way to stay connected. Another good thing about LinkedIn is that it has free educational tools. Maybe there's some skills that you want to learn more about. Well, guess what? There's this little tool called LinkedIn Learning, and it's a really good way to help you stay up to date on the trends in your particular industry. So, LinkedIn Learning is a really great way to stay up to date on the latest and greatest in your field. Also, I highly suggest that when you do get on LinkedIn, and that's a whole other um learning tip class, when you do get on LinkedIn, making sure that you have conversations with the people that you connect with, making sure that you ask questions, because a lot of the times they have conversations that are trending that are that pertains to your particular industry. 675 million users are on LinkedIn, and it's growing. According to Fortune 500, guess what? 95% of companies are using LinkedIn to find the latest and greatest talent. There's over 300,000 companies, even small businesses, that are using LinkedIn to find that specific talent. 85% of employers say that a positive online reputation is key to the way they decide to make their hiring decision. So why not get on LinkedIn? And I will tell you a tip. You can actually get some good interviews simply by having a really nice professional profile on LinkedIn. So what can LinkedIn do for job seekers? Well, guess what? Not only can you get some training going on, you can promote yourself, you can promote your skills, you can meet and greet new employers. Sometimes there's job fairs that they post that you don't know about that are um, typically on like the actual newspapers or websites. But with LinkedIn, they advertise quite a bit of different little job fairs and companies that are hiring. A lot of recruiters are on LinkedIn. So it's a really neat way to search and apply for different jobs, building your credentials by taking these LinkedIn courses. There's just a whole wealth of information on LinkedIn that I cannot stress enough that will definitely help you find employment. The other thing I love about LinkedIn too, before I get into the basic navigation, is that it really, really helps you connect directly with the employer. So you have direct hands on in contact with an HR manager or a recruiter. So basically, we're not going to go into too much with LinkedIn, but just the basic navigation of LinkedIn. Every platform, just realize this, every platform has its own learning curve. So start with one and don't get overwhelmed. Start with one at a time. But I highly recommend getting on LinkedIn, getting a professional profile starting right now. So basically, the skeleton of how LinkedIn works is that you have a profile that allows you to edit your current position. So let's just say you're a person that's seeking an admin position and you would put that in. I highly recommend you looking at different profiles, taking a look at what's attractive. You would list to see any contacts that you may have on your LinkedIn, any groups that you'd like. You can join groups. Some of them groups are open, and then there are some that do require an invitation. There are job links on LinkedIn. So, some things that you might want to start joining are specific professional organizations that are there, American Heart Association, American Pediatric, if you're interested in that, teaching associations, any and every organization there is something for everyone on LinkedIn. Inbox allows you to get mail, company search. There is a toolbar on LinkedIn that allows you to search for companies, news. There's just so much, and learning centers, just all to make you a better and more informative job seeker. Pinterest, my favorite. Pinterest is not just your typical platform where you can just search for recipes and look for pretty pictures and fashion. I think a lot of people really underestimate the power of Pinterest. The wonderful thing about Pinterest is that because everything is picture based, guess what? You're going to be basically utilizing a picture. I'm giving you a tip here, a picture of your resume. And you're going to upload that picture of your resume there. And you're going to also, here's another tip for you, highlight some of the things that you're really good at doing in another picture. So you're going to create a little platform, if you will, of job niches, if I should say that, if I can say that. So whatever your expertise is, put it on Pinterest. And it's another good way for you to find different companies that are hiring. So I'm going to use my cursor to kind of highlight a little bit what I'm talking about here. So if you go up here, how to find a job when you feel lost. There's different articles with links on here to help you find tools and research and resources on employment. Resume red flags. If you're interested in building a better resume, there's all types of tips on here. 10 soft skills that you need to have, things like that. There's things that you can download. Here up here, if you look at these are keywords. So if you click for on each one of these little bubbles, if I can say that, have little links with them that correspond with this. So let's just say there's tips for hunting, job hunting, quotes. every little bubble here corresponds with another category. And it's kind of like a rabbit hole that you can easily go into quickly. It's a really wonderful, fun platform to find employment. Again, people don't think about typically using Pinterest for employment, but this is just another little small tip that I'm sharing with you where you can definitely find employment. Again, putting a simple hashtag in the Pinterest toolbar, such as admin jobs, jobs for moms, jobs for stay at home moms. It's a really, really neat way to sell yourself on this platform. And simply by creating a picture of your resume and some things that you're good at doing. For example, here's another tip. What if you're someone who loves baking? What if you're really good at baking and you really hone in on a business on that? Well, why not put some pictures of some of your best cakes, some of your best pastries? Guess what? I guarantee you, some company out there is looking for someone who can bake. It's another good way for you to find part time work, freelance work, which is on the rise. So why not? Why not take advantage of Pinterest? Now we're getting into videos. So everyone knows YouTube. I'm sure at some point all of us have been on YouTube searching for something that we really want to find out more about. Well, YouTube is just one of many video platforms that you can use. The good thing about YouTube is that it's never going to go away. It's a platform that is just steadily flowing with viewers. It's a predominant online tool in social media and in a workplace. It's a great way to show off your skills. Now, guess what? You can actually create your own video, a video resume. Yes, you can. If you really want to stand out in a job market and really just have that professional edge over others, get yourself a video resume. Simply put that resume up on there after you make it the way it needs to be and put it up there. You can also create yourself a marketing tool of why employers should hire you. Introduce yourself, create a video, and then just you can post that. And I guarantee you, an employer will find you. It's all in the way you present yourself. Let's just face it, you have to get more creative nowadays. Times have changed. So why not go with the tools that we have that are in place? These tools are here to make you better. Okay. So make sure you just take the time to demonstrate comfort with technology. Technology is here to stay, it's not going anywhere. It shows you're being creative. The traditional ways of job searching, I have to tell you, they're going away. So, social media is here to stay. Don't be afraid. Just take your time, practice one platform a day. So, up to this point, we talked about ways we can improve our social media appearance. So, that is having a great picture, presenting yourself in the best light, leaving off offensive material, a nice picture, a profile. We've also talked about some of the platforms you can use. LinkedIn, big one. We want to be on that. Facebook, Pinterest, blogs, Glassdoor, YouTube. So now it's up to you. How will you improve your social media presence? What will you do to stand out against all those other candidates who are looking for employment? Get yourself a profile on LinkedIn. Create a nice, attractive LinkedIn profile. I will help you. Create an action word plan for networking social media. There's tons of media platforms out there. Pick one. Pick one that you're the most comfortable with and go with it. Don't be afraid to be found and be seen because I guarantee you, someone will find you. It's only a matter of time. Thank you so much. For more assistance with job search, resume building, or any professional development, um, I'm here to help you. So I wish you all the best of luck, and don't stop learning.